keep moving on here, and man, oh man, I cannot wait for Najee Harris, folks. Oh my gosh. We didn't think we were going to be rooting for the Steelers this season just because, we couldn't really rely on Big Ben, but them getting Najee Harris, I think I'm back to in believing the Steelers team could honestly win the Super Bowl, honestly, with their defense and their run game, and just kind of Big Ben being a game manager out there with all those great wide receivers that they still have. Man, oh man, Najee Harris could truly be the missing link here. So we get this here. Big Ben says Steelers running back coach Eddie Faulkner told rookie Najee Harris he had to leave after Harris stayed for hours following practice. This is what Eddie Faulkner said. Najee, I have to go home now. You have to go home now. The moon is out. The moon is out. Najee, we gotta go. Come back tomorrow. I appreciate all the work you're putting in, but I gotta go. I got a family to take care of. I gotta put some dinner on some tables, folks. So Najee Harris, he is grinding out here for the Steelers, and that's exactly what we want to see. We know he is an elite running back in this league. He was our number 1 running back on our big board for this year's draft, and the fact that he's still out here, still wanting to get better, coming from college to the NFL. We know it is still, the speed of the game is different. That's the one thing that we hear over and over and over again from rookies coming into the NFL is the speed. It hits you as soon as you get out on that field for game number 1. So Najee Harris is trying to be the best that he can for the Steelers team, knows he's going to be the workhorse running back here for the Steelers because they don't really have another running back. He's going to instantly be the starting running back for this team, and he's putting in all the work out here. So I'm loving it. Najee Harris out here setting the tone for what the Steelers are going to be this year, and if everybody can kind of, keep up pace with Najee Harris on this Steelers team, everybody going out there and putting in extended hours, working on their game to be as elite as they can be, this Steelers team is going to be absolutely fantastic. So the defense kind of fell apart last year with all the injuries. They're ready to get right this year. They've had the offseason to get kind of healed and ready to rock for week 1. Big Ben's arm has some time to rest, and Najee Harris is going to be out there at the running back position just going ham every single game. We don't have to worry about Najee Harris not knowing the plays, not knowing the playbook, not knowing, I have to go right here, not left, or, what do I do on the sweep play, or what do I do on the counter play? No. The man is going to be ready to rock out of the gate and could potentially be, the best running back of the season. Potentially. It's going to be tough. And as we kind of just talked about this, let's go into this. Who will lead the league in rushing yards next season? PFF tweets out who's going to be the leading rusher in the league next season. And there's only one answer, folks. It's Derrick Henry. Stop playing with this man. The man is he's not even a running back, folks. He's a freaking wrecking ball out there. Speed, size, strength at the running back position. He's basically like what Kyle Pitts is to that tight end position, folks. It's absolutely fantastic. So Derrick Henry, I believe he won the rushing title the last 2 years, getting it done. There's really nobody else that I can think that can kind of compete with him. Maybe Najee Harris, maybe, but he's a rookie, probably not. We know he's putting in the work to potentially be, I would put Najee Harris in maybe top 5 rushers, but to upset Henry year 1 for Najee Harris, I think the task is a little bit too tall for that. But these other running backs we have, Jonathan Taylor, we love Jonathan Taylor, but the Colts running game is going to be a little bit of, running back by committee. And that's not taking anything away from Jonathan Taylor, but Derrick Henry, he's the only guy there in Tennessee to run the ball. Dalvin Cook, he's tried. I think he was number 2 in rushing last season, and he's still good. Don't get us wrong. But at the end of the day, he fumbles a little bit. Derrick Henry can kind of, go yards after contact. Dalvin Cook, more of an elusive running back. So Dalvin Cook could potentially be number 2. I don't think if he's ready to kind of take that number 2 step here, or that number 1 step. Let's bring up Dalvin Cook's rushing yards from last season. How much was he off from Derrick Henry? Let's get that up really quickly. Dalvin Cook last season, 1,500 yards. Amazing. Let's see what Derrick Henry did. I want to say it was 2,000. I think he got over 2,000. And it was 2020, folks, 500 more yards, 500 more yards. And when we look at what Derrick Henry has done his entire career, this is why we love the man so much, because he's getting better every single season. Year 1, 490 yards. Year 2, 744 yards. Year 3, 1,059 yards. Year 4, 1,540 yards. That's what Dalvin Cook did last season. And then last season for Derrick Henry, 2,027 yards, getting better every single year. The man averaged 126 yards a game, folks. Give this man the respect. There's no signs of this man slowing down. So, of course, we have to say that Derrick Henry is going to win the rushing title again this year. Just absolutely magnificent. You cannot stop him, folks. You cannot stop him. The yards after the contact is just astonishing. He's dragging teams. He's dragging entire teams on his shoulder as they're trying to bring him down. And then he's like, oh, y'all are on me. I just scored. Y'all can get off. The ref just blew the whistle. Y'all are still trying to tackle me. The play's over. I've scored. We've won. The game is over. Get off of me, y'all. Like, you cannot stop Derrick Henry out here. So, Dalvin Cook, he had his best rushing season last season at 1,500 yards, but is he ready? Is he ready to keep going? Now, Dalvin Cook, I'll give him credit. He's been getting better every single season as well. First season, 354 yards. Second season, 615 yards. Third season, 1,135 yards. And then just last season, season 4, 1,557 yards. So, yes, Dalvin Cook is still getting better, but can he make that next leap like Derrick Henry does? Can he keep getting better? Can he reach that 2,000-yard milestone? We'll see what he can do out here, but I would still put my money on Derrick Henry 1, probably Dalvin Cook number 2. What else do we got out here? Saquon Barkley. Now, I want to root for this man. I love Saquon Barkley, but coming off that injury and then that just star-studded offensive kind of wide receiver talent that they have, they've got like 5 wide receivers deep. So Saquon Barkley may not be able to kind of get all those carries to make 2,000 rushing yards happen. Nick Chubb for the Browns. What did he do last year? I know he had a solid year, but was it only like 1,200? Did he get that, 1,500? That's a real kind of good benchmark. 1,500 rushing yards, 2,000 rushing yards. Those are some solid benchmarks for rushers. But, Nick Chubb only, 1,000 yards, kind of splitting carries once again with Kareem Hunt, with Dalvin Cook and Derrick Henry. They are back there by themselves. Saquon Barkley back there by himself. Ezekiel Elliott, well, don't get me started. The man, he could have done it last season, but he didn't. No Dak Prescott, having Andy Dalton as the quarterback. You should have been the elite rusher. You should have been taking all the carries and putting up all the points, but that's not what he did. So let's get what he got up for what he did last season. Let's bring up his career stats. 979 yards last season. Didn't even crack 1,000 when he was the main man. So what are we talking about here? So, can't give it to Ezekiel Elliott. Then we get Christian McCaffrey. Now, he could, but, rushing yards. He's kind of a dual threat running back like Alvin Kamara. Great kind of catcher out of the backfield. Yes, he can run the ball straight from the backfield as well, but they use him in the passing game a little bit more. Not a little bit more, but, yeah, kind of to break it up. So he may have like 2,000 yards total, but that's 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving. Derrick Henry doesn't need to catch the ball out of the backfield. What did he do last season? So he put up 2,000 yards on the ground, and then he also put up another 114 yards receiving. So Christian McCaffrey will probably be like 1,200 yards rushing, 800 yards receiving for the combined 2,000, where Derrick Henry is just rushing and rushing and rushing and rushing till he can't rush no more, baby. And then Joe Mixon, Joe Mixon's good, but he's on this Bengals team. Like, that's nothing elite. So, we're going to still be saying that Derrick Henry is going to be the league rusher this season. Dalvin Cook is probably going to be in the top 5, and I would say Najee Harris could be in the top 5 as well. Top 5 of just this list that we said is probably Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey. See, I'm struggling to kind of fill that 5th, that 4th. So, yeah, Najee Harris can immediately make this big impact and be top 5 rusher and potentially challenge Derrick Henry for number 1, depending on how great Najee Harris is kind of translating to the NFL because, like Derrick Henry, because like Dalvin Cook, because like Saquon Barkley, he's the only guy back there for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Najee Harris. There's no other kind of rusher to, take away carries, to have more carries. He's the number one running back on that team. There's nobody that can even come close to challenging him for that. So Najee Harris, folks, watch for this man to be explosive year one, and maybe challenge number one, definitely challenge number two, but potentially challenge number one.